No earphones tonight.
All right, guys, welcome back. Episode 41 with myself and Mr. Boshin. We apologize. We were incorrect. We had false information from Hank saying it was our 1 year, and we double-checked that information. The 1 year is actually next week.
March 6th,
it's looking like next week is probably going to be possibly a remote broadcast. We'll have to see. So I'm going to be in California. So I fly out on Sunday. I come back to Red Eye on Thursday. So I'll see what I got going on Tuesday night, depending on what the time change and all.
You might have company dinners.
So I of course, yeah, come on. Yeah, yes, I'll eat for free next week.
I've been to California. I've been to offices in California.
You've actually had company dinner on me.
That's right. Carlsbad.
That's right.
Dave, thank you.
So you're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. So
I know we can't get her on camera, but before we start, my wife, who happens to be over to the side, Marie.
She does. Marie.
It's her 25th birthday today.
That's
Happy
right.
birthday, Marie.
Thanp you, everyone.
Do you want to come on camera?
No, thank you.
No, maybe next week for the 1 year celebration. Maybe the year after. Week after. So
we'll see.
I'm going to get up and turn the camera. You're going to run out the front door like you're on fire.
I still think it protects me.
So hopefully you guys got to catch a couple of my posts today. There's one on the Old Men That Used to Race page and on my Instagram account that showed her cresting the spectator jump at Southwick back in, 1979?
Yes.
1979 or 1980?
I'm sorry?
When you were cresting the jump at Southwick, 79 or 80?
That
would
have been 79.
79. Wow. So 1979, and yes, she was number 666.
All right. I know normally we don't pull politics into this, but Barry Keller just put up, I decided to watch and listen to you guys instead of that commie debate. I didn't know we had competition tonight. But Barry, thanks, buddy. We appreciate it.
Well, it's funny because we keep the politics out.
Happy birthday. So we do keep the politics out of it.
Did you happen to see? I know you saw the comments from Brian Burr because I tagged you in it.
I did.
He was going to vote Boshin for VP.
Yeah, I've got a political sign I posted about that. I do. It's a little old, but we probably get votes. We might get write-ins.
you and me are on it. You did it.
Yeah, I did. Oh, wait a minute, Jeff O'Connell. He says hello from Waldo MX. I hope Florida's treating you good, bud. So and no pizza, right? I saw that other post.
Steaks and beans.
Yeah, it's just steaks and beans, no pizza. Sorry, David. Yeah, it's all right. No big deal.
Can you imagine that? Did you see Jeff? 2 steaks, 2 cans of beans the other night.
I did.
And that's probably child's play.
And he had nothing left. Oh, of course it is.
That's child's play to him.
Nothing.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to be sleeping in that trailer.
Yeah, Michael DeZobo, good evening, gentlemen. What's up, Michael? Thank you for tuning in tonight. We appreciate it. So we really had nothing planned up until just a few hours ago. And we got a few guests coming on.
Yeah, we got a couple guests coming on tonight. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it will be. It will be.
Before we jump into that, of course, we always like to go over the Supercross and the fantasy results.
Before we do that, though, guys, do us a favor and share this thing out. We broke 100 last week. We're sitting around 50 right now. If we break 100 again, I'd be pumped.
Yeah.
So it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So go ahead and share this thing out, guys. We appreciate it. So we're going to have a good time tonight. So.
All right. So for fantasy Supercross, Anthony Appel, again, with the lead. But this time he's down to 1 point over Bruce Emons.
Okay.
Dude, I don't know how you guys are picking these because I am like, with all the stuff that's going on in Supercross and guys crashing, Cooper Webb with that nasty crash this weekend, seeing Cerullo with his broken collarbone.
Hold on. Gary Frink just posted, he said, I had the wrong damn show going. He was watching last week's show. Gary, happy you could tune in. I think Lee's already here. He beat you to the show. Actually, I don't think Lee's on yet. That's a funny comment right there.
So we got Anthony, Bruce Emons, Graham Barber is in third. Freefall Moto, I still have absolutely no idea who you are, Freefall Moto.
No clue, yep.
TH399, you're in fifth. John Pierre is in sixth. He is climbing the ladder.
Yeah,
well, he's working out now.
Speaking of which, I've got him up here on the big screen tonight.
He's working out now.
What do you think he's doing to that bike right there? We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about that later. I was there, so I know what he's doing, but that doesn't look what the still shot looks like.
No. It's and that wasn't even photoshopped.
Nope. So then Rick Berry. Rick Berry's in seventh.
Nice. All right.
Kippy Camosa is in eighth.
All right.
Dom Butler, ninth. And Joe Orlando is in 10th. Dan Plort has climbed to 11th this week. I know.
All right.
He couldn't understand last week how he wasn't up there already because he scored massive points a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 out of my 5 went out. So I was screwed. I'm sure a lot of people that had to happen too. So
Yep. I could keep going because it's like all these names are just people that we know. But The birthday girl is in 15th.
Congratulations.
She's had like 2 super strong weeks and just absolutely destroyed our family.
Lee Carrera just tuned in. Should we tell him what Gary Frank did? Hey, Lee, you're just tuning in. You missed it. Gary Frank was on the wrong show. He was watching last week's episode for the first 5 minutes.
So anyway, it was interesting. It was an interesting
that's
weekend.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah,
it was an interesting
was.
weekend. I
Yep.
mean, it sucks to see these guys getting hurt.
A lot of injuries. A lot of guys going to. And I got to tell you, what was with that section of the track where it was like 3 or 4 people went off into that concrete area?
Well, I mean, Jimmy D in practice, he same thing. It was that stupid Dragon's back that they had in. I get nothing against them, but as a couple people said, it should not have been, I guess, as steep as it was.
Okay.
And then
it was definitely awkward like that. It was.
It was like if
because guys were like front end nose diving into it. It was weird.
Well, it's like when they wheelie it, their front end missed that top one, but the back end kicked, and they just
endoed and right into the face of the next jump, and they were already at speed, so they couldn't stop it. It was just all momentum. So
now. And Jimmy, when Jimmy did it, his body fell off the bike and kind of hit the ground, but the bike launched off the side and went almost over to the grandstands.
Yep.
And then when Adam did it, Adam kind of did the same thing Jet Lawrence did, where it just hammered him into the face of the jump.
Yep.
And
it's too bad. Yeah.
And I mean, there was nothing
I'm
lucky.
almost surprised they didn't go out and kind of knock that down a little bit and change it up.
Yeah.
I really am surprised.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Cooper was just, oh my God, that was one of the scariest things I've seen in a long time. And luckily, he's going to be back. He says he's going to line up this weekend. Yep. But I mean, different guys. Brock Tickle DNF'd. Mm-hmm. There was a couple guys that never made. They made the night program. They qualified, but they didn't line up and race.
Right.
So
tells you they're hurting.
Yeah, yep. And I know that there's a lot of opinions in the track. I know.
Oh boy, Craig Johnson's on. Mr.
Craig?
Johnson, how you been, buddy?
So
he's lucky you have guests lined up. I'd have crank called him tonight. So I still might. If we have time at the end of the show, I might call him.
You never know.
He's 3 hours behind us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, it depends on where in the world he is.
I don't care where he is. I'd call anyway.
He's still 3 hours behind us,
That's
even
right.
if he's in
That's
Boston.
right.
But anyway, no, that track was just. It's gnarly. The tracks are gnarly. I mean, they're not. I don't know much about track building other than motocross stuff is fine. I've ridden and built some motocross stuff, but supercross stuff, never been a fan of riding it and the way that these guys are building it. And then toning it down, they say, for the Futures race the next day. Holy crap, man. Some of these people are just getting KO'd.
They are.
And,
they are.
I don't know with the way that the medics are handling things, the whole questionable how they handled Brian Moreau. Yeah. I noticed when they picked him up with his shoulders and lifted him off.
Right.
But they also did the same thing to Cooper Webb this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So they had Cooper Webb by the shoulders and they were taking him off. I don't know if it's protocol or I don't know if something changed. Whatever it is, it just doesn't look right when somebody lands on their back.
It does not.
So hopefully maybe somebody can clarify it and clear it up because there's a lot of debate going on. I know Pulp last night was talking big time about that stuff.
Yep. They were.
And it's scary to
concerning.
see.
It's concerning.
It's very concerning.
Yep,
it's very
is.
concerning.
It is.
On a good note, on a positive note, one thing that I noticed came out of the weekend, old Northeast motocrosser from New Jersey, Brian Carroll, his son Brighton made the points that he needed to run in the pro class now from the Futures. So
Congrats.
Second generation Daytona Supercross, Brighton's going to be lining up for the 250 qualifiers and trying to get into the show. So good job to those guys. That's awesome.
Outside the Dowdies, I don't know anyone else doing that, right?
There's been a few here and there, but not that I can name off the top of my head.
Yep. So that's cool.
Yeah. But that's about that's about all I had with Supercross. It's interesting. Atlanta's this weekend. It's a 5 o'clock start time. So if you guys are playing fantasy, get your picks in early.
At this point, I don't think it matters whether I get my picks in or not, just to be honest. I'm just being brutally honest, Jim. I don't think it matters.
Wild card this week is 12th place in RM, if you're playing that one with us. I did close the group, so if you're not in the group, unfortunately, too bad. I can't do much about it now.
Oh, I noticed my buddy Nathan Russett joined. Nathan's a good guy, good Ford
Nice.
mechanic. He has actually a really successful YouTube channel. So
That's cool.
Yep. So I think his channel's in the shop. If you guys are looking for some good mechanical advice, check out Nathan's page in the shop. I think it's his
That's
YouTube
cool. Is that a
channel.
YouTube channel?
YouTube channel, yeah. Nathan, put it in the comments. The guys can check out your channel. So.
Speaking of YouTube channels, I mean, it's great. Everybody's starting to get on board and get them.
There is, yeah.
And,
Yep.
I mean, definitely get on and follow ours. You got Dave at Northeast MX,
yep.
and mine's Old Men That Used to Race.
Yep, and I got the lottery project, and it's
You
kind of
got the lottery project, yeah.
That one I hadn't touched in about a month and a half, and I put a video up, and it's funny. As I've got multiple channels now, I'm figuring out how that algorithm works and how you tap into it. And it's almost like YouTube knows you're away. So you post a video. So I put one up yesterday, and it didn't go viral, but it had quite a few hits.
Yep.
Put another video up today, exact same tags, exact same hashtags, everything, half the performance. So it's kind of like YouTube lures you in, like, hey, look, you're doing it, and then all of a sudden the next day it's like, you're not as important today.
Well, they want you to post every day.
Every day.
They want you to post
Every
something
day.
every single day.
Yep.
But the problem is, I mean, who the hell's got time to sit down and do all the editing
Well, that's
and
the lottery
stuff like
one's
that?
easy. I can do a lottery one in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I've been doing it with just the quick stuff, and
Yep.
the reason I use YouTube is because I can share the stuff out. So I did, of course, the Dave's stand exercises video this weekend.
That's right.
Starring John Levesque.
Yep,
And
yep.
I also did. I took yours. I took an idea from you when you did the 500 with
Okay.
the rear fender shake.
Oh, the fender shaking. Yeah, that's
I
pretty cool.
didn't
saw
slow
that.
it down though. I
Yeah.
didn't. You did yours in slow motion.
By accident. Yeah, that was not even on purpose.
I let mine go in full speed, and just with the two-stroke, the smoke coming out and everything,
Yeah.
it was perfect because it was like I just titled it "Smoke
Nice.
and Shake,"
That's cool.
And,
Casey Bates is on. Mr. Bates, what's up, buddy?
and it was cool.
Yeah.
It was working out
Oh,
great.
Raph Masiello's on. Oh boy, I played him earlier in Mad Skills. I beat him, but he beat me. We went 1-1.
He's got to be pissed.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. I still have a parody I gotta record. Actually, I did record one. It didn't come as good as I thought it would, so I gotta do another one. So I gotta put my helmet on and do it.
Hey, while you guys are there and you're on watching, if you guys wanted to try the CBD stuff, if you haven't tried it yet, I am now a brand affiliate for Acavie. So just go to the Acavie.com website, order your products, and the coupon code is Itsjimsfault.
Go figure.
So 25% off. Check it out. Get on. Try it out if you want to try it out. If you hadn't, you want to just get some more, just go in and order Itsjimsfault. Acavie.com.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Mr. Jimmy Sloan just had a good question. He said,
Yes.
Jim and David, he said, what are your thoughts on Brock Glover's retirement?
From Dunlop?
Uh,
I don't know if I heard that.
I didn't hear that either. I wonder if he did. He must have retired from Dunlop. He had to. Would he
Well-
be? Yeah, I guess he would be that. He would be 60 and change. Yeah, I didn't
He was
hear
on
the news.
Swap. He was on Swap Motor Live the other day,
Was he? Okay.
and I shared
didn't
that
hear the
interview.
news.
I
Interesting.
think if he's retiring, that's great. You know, good for him.
Yep, me too. Yeah, I agree.
It's
I
a
agree.
fantastic career.
Enjoy retirement. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, some of his
Rap
stories.
Masiello says, stop pushing the drugs.
Stop pushing drugs. Dude, this is 0 THC. 0.
Jim is a dealer. Oh boy. Yep. See what you started? See, you had to go there. You had to go there. Yep.
Oh boy.
Yep. But I know he's an old broken guy. He'll be coming to you for his fix soon.
Yeah. It works for me, Ralph. It really works for me. And there is no there's no effects like
Yeah.
smoking.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep. So.
And John Levesque, no, I'm not hungry. Because he likes to rub that in.
Yep. I'm hungry. I know Jeff's always hungry.
Jeff's, I don't understand how, because he eats everything.
Yeah. So he's like a machine.
So, what do you think? You give our first guest a buzz?
Yeah. We're at 20 after. Yeah. So good time.
All right.
And we still have 43 people on. We're not quite breaking the 100 mark, but guys, keep sharing this thing out. Call up your grandmother. Get her on the horn.
Hello?
Hey, Ben, how's it going?
Hey, Jim, what's going on?
Not much.
What's going on, Ben? Thanks for letting us give you a ring tonight. We appreciate it.
Yeah, being a part of the
Yeah,
show.
no problem. I'm glad I could finally connect with you guys. I feel like it's been back and forth through email.
Yeah, definitely. But Ben, so you guys watching, Ben owns Retroformance.
Yep.
They're a company specializing in rebuilding older bikes and older pretty much everything, right?
Yeah,
Fits our group
pretty
nicely.
much we're dedicated to the resurrection and modification of all things vintage, whether it's, trucks, bikes. A few of my buddies are into jet skis, so I'm probably going to get sucked into that, unfortunately. It just seems like it's too much fun.
Stay away from the wet bikes.
The water quads.
Yeah, those stand up things that it's like they got the gigantic steering fin on the front.
Yep.
No,
They
those
look so cool, though.
Those are cool. I actually worked on one of those myself years ago, and it was like, man, I wish I could have gotten out and tried it, but the guy that owned it didn't want me to. He just wanted me to get the motor running.
I had one of those wet bikes back in the day, the Suzuki wet bike. So that thing was gnarly. So it was fun to ride, but when it ejected you, it ejected you.
Oh.
It's all good till you crash, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Well, if you're on water, hopefully you crash in something that's a little bit deeper than 12 inches.
Yeah, the problem with that wet bike, though, is a hydroplane. So you get up on hydro, you're about 4 or 5 feet up off the water. So when you went down, it was ugly.
Oh.
It's like you skim across the water like a rock.
So Ben, give us a little history on Retroformance and what you guys are up to.
All right, so it's 3 generations kind of a family business. It all started in 1966 with my grandfather's Ski-Doo dealership. We had a dealership right out of the garage, and back in the day when the snowmobile boom hit, they were building modifications for them. They'd go on all the way across the state in Maine. They did even some oval racing, so we were super into the vintage snowmobile stuff when it was hot back in the day. And then that kind of died out, so the business transitioned to a Tri-County machine, and that's when my dad got into racing enduro bikes in the early 70s and stuff. And his first bike was a 175 Can-Am qualifier, so it started the road tax blood early.
Oh yeah.
And then really just building different stuff over the years. My dad took a big break from racing and got into a lot of cars, building different stuff, trucks, anything with a V8 in it, because everybody had a small block. And then
Nice.
kind of in the mid-90s, my dad picked back up in the vintage racing scene and just started, him and a buddy went around and bought basically every old Can-Am dealership out of their stock of Can-Am parts. So he got back into the Can-Ams, obviously, because he loved them and he raced them back in the day. So when I was growing up, it was nothing but vintage racing for me and my father. So we got into that, a lot. And I never thought it was as cool, being a kid, because I think the modern stuff is cool. But now that I'm a little bit older and can do more of the bike building myself and the racing and stuff, we are just really looking to get back into it even more. We just picked up that 1986 Husky,
Yes.
and really, most of our work consists of just taking the shop back down to its roots, cleaning out, and getting set up to do a lot more vintage builds. Whether it's we need a shelf bracket, we build it. We go out back, we grab something, or we need to go racing for the weekend, so we fire up some old bikes and take those out, and we heavy haul it with maybe a built Cummins 12-valve swapped truck to get there. So we kind of do a lot of everything. We're into a lot of stuff. We do all the fabrication ourselves, and we're just kind of dedicated to bringing that to the public eye. We love vintage stuff. We love building it. We love modifying it, and that's what we're about.
Dude,
cool, Ben.
I love the shirts that you guys, because you had sent us a couple of shirts and the low pipe life
Yes.
on the shirts. That
Those
is
are
like
cool.
super
I'm glad
cool.
you guys liked them. Yeah.
Yeah, we wore them on the show. I don't know if you got to see the show or not, but we got some comments on the shirts. People liked them.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, we're just about out of our batch 1, so March we'll be doing another run of different graphics and stuff, but I think the low pipe life shirt will have to make it back in the second batch.
That's cool.
Dude,
That's cool.
that was super cool. And you guys got quite an interesting bike. I know we talked about it. You got Jimmy Ellis's 125.
Yeah, actually, kind of by accident. Back when my dad and his buddy were going crazy buying Can-Am stuff all over, the New England area, they bought a bunch of parts, and they're looking through some of this stuff, and they're like, okay, something's up here. This is not right. I mean, it's a hand-built frame. It looks like mounts aren't in the right spots. Everything's kind of gusseted in weird locations. And then they're looking through more stuff, and they're finding a billet, billet hub on one side just for the spokes. And they're coming across gears and transmission shafts that are drilled out all the way and are all hollow. And they're like, wait a second. So, my dad tracked down George, who actually, he knew him because back early when my dad was a little kid, in the, I believe it was the late 60s, had to be early 70s, Jimmy and George would train kind of at a track in a field right down the road from our shop. So they stopped one day and just noticed they were practicing out there. So he at least knew of him, tracked him down, and sure sure enough, he goes, "Oh yeah, that's all the stuff I gave away." So
That's
we ended
cool.
up with quite a bit of it. The bike currently it has has just a spare frame in it and not the original 125 works motor. One, because I cracked the frame at Unadilla, and two, the 125 works motor is just way too, valuable to really just go out there and hammer on it. So we put a 250 in it just so that we could go out and enjoy, another low pipe, and then eventually when we take the frame back together and get the motor back, it'll just kind of be a display bike at that point. But we at least wanted to get some fun out of it.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
absolutely. You have to. You have to, especially when you got something like that that's cool. I mean, it's one thing to display legacies and stuff like that, but if you can get a chance to ride it for a little while, you got to do it.
Oh, yeah. I got to race it twice, actually, now at Southwick at one of the ACR Southwick events. And let me tell you what, there's nothing like it. I mean, the power band, is
Totally
basically non-existent, but when it is there, it is, like, crazy. So it was a blast to ride, but every time I hit the rev limiter or something, I'm like, this is this could get expensive. It's not worth it. So,
you don't want to hear that. Boo, boo, boo.
yeah. Yep.
Not good.
No, and those rotary valve engines, they're so cool. I know you and I talked on the phone. I might bleed green for Kawasaki's. I absolutely love KXs, but my first bike was a Can-Am, so it was kind of special.
Well, you also love those Makos too.
The Makos I never had.
Yeah,
I never
but
had.
it was a lust bike, right?
It's still it's
That's
I
the
would even say
Lamborghini on the wall.
yeah, exactly. It's like out of all the Makos though, it's just the one bike, the holy grail, the 81, 490. And
I almost put that photo up tonight, but I found the one of John. So.
yeah, I know. But those bikes, like we were saying, and you had said to me, Ben, it's there's no mistaking those bikes when you hear them.
Nope.
Oh no.
You know.
that throaty, rasp. It's like, oh, that must be a Mako.
Yep, they sound angry.
Like a CR500.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like we Southwick.
Yeah.
You start the 500 up, people know exactly
Yep.
what you got.
Yep. I mean, it is. You start the big bikes up and people just come running.
Yep.
With those things, though, with those big air-cooled fins on the motor, they just had that
I was
sound.
just going to say, when you see that thing coming, you're like, oh, stepping aside.
It's like freight train coming through.
Exactly.
And given the brakes on them, they probably, you wouldn't want to be in the way anyway because they ain't going to stop.
Nope. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, sounds like you and I have a lot in common, Ben. I built a Fummins, an F-150 with a 4BT a few years back. That was a fun build. And right now I'm stuffing an LS53 in my 240 Volvo wagon. So we could talk shop for a long time. Oh yeah, it's been a fun project. So it's nice to be an older motocrosser. I have more money now. I don't race a lot.
Yeah, actually, the truck that we haul the bikes around with is a Ford F-250. I believe it's an '87,
Yeah.
and we got a 6B in it.
Nice.
And back in my grandfather's heyday, he had twin turbos on it, but he couldn't keep a transmission in it to save his life, so that had to come out, single turbo back on. But my grandfather got super into building the 12 valves, and kind of showed my father a lot of the tips and tricks, O-ring in the heads, just a lot of different tools and stuff that he's made over the years. So that's a lot of the work that we do like to do. We're kind of passionate about those. So
Nice. Gary Frink just posted up. He says, "Do you guys remember the FMF porcupine heads back in the day?" I actually do remember those.
I do.
Yep. So that is cool. Gary, you're showing your age, you old bastard.
Well, Gary was the 100cc NEMA champ on
He
those
was.
those RMs and
The sleeve down bikes, right?
no, the true 100s.
true 100s,
The
okay,
true
yeah.
100s. He's
Yeah.
got pictures of him jumping this like insane. It was 4 jumps. It was supposed to be a double at Lunenburg, and he's quadding the thing on this freaking RM 100 with like 3 inches of suspension travel and stuff, just hitting it wide open.
Yeah. So we have to get Gary in a little bike this year. We got to find someone with the KX 100 and stuff him on that thing. Big boy in a little bike. Kind of picture Tim Farley right now. The Tim Farley line. Big boy in a little suit. Yeah.
So, what else you got going on, Ben? I know I saw that when Justin had talked to me, Justin Palin, he had said that you guys have some Hondas too, right? Or does he have the Hondas?
He's the Honda guy. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we pretend like we don't associate, but he's a good guy. So
we have those friends.
He's a Honda. He's crazy about those.
What's wrong, Honda
he's got
guys?
some beautiful ones coming.
They do. Yeah, they say what's wrong. Honda guys are special.
What are you trying to say?
They're special. You know what, though, Ben? You could probably appreciate this because when I was a kid and I started racing, I had that KX 125. My brother had a CR 125. And there was a bumper sticker going around that said, "I'd rather eat worms than ride a Honda." And
man.
and of course we had to have one, and like, man. And now it's like, go figure. I work for an American Honda company, so I guess that I ate my fair share.
That's right. There you go. What goes around comes around. See that? How do you like that? Take that.
They pay. Hey, it pays the bills to put the worms on the plate
and now you're a Honda bitch. See that?
Now I'm a Honda
Now
bitch.
you're a Honda bitch.
I
You like that? High-end Honda bitch, though. Acura. You're a high-end bitch.
I'm high end. It's got the stuffing. It's got the toys.
Yeah.
Come on, it's just a Civic with a different badge.
Don't hurt his feelings like that, Ben. Come on.
Hey, as long as people keep coming in the door, I'm happy.
That's right.
I need
You can
something.
afford your non-Honda toys.
Right, exactly. I need something to pay the bills.
That's right. Exactly.
But no, that's cool. And so you guys, I mean, where are you based out of? You're based out of Connecticut, right?
Yeah, Lebanon, Connecticut, so a little bit more the eastern part of the state.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, we're still out of the shop my grandfather built back in the early '60s, and so most of our time right now is consumed with it. I don't know if anybody's keeping up with the videos on the YouTube channel, but we've been going through trying to move our equipment around, move our machining equipment,
Yep.
Reorganize, just fix things, new lights. I mean, my grandfather, 50 years of being a pack rat, kind of packs you in. So
Call American
a lot of
Pickers.
this
They'll help
year's
you out.
rebuilding. So
Pickers.
That's cool.
Yep. Get the
Yeah,
American
you never
Picker
know. The
boys in
American
there.
Pickers might
That's
want to
right.
come down.
that's what we keep saying. Hey, just come around, look around.
Call them
You'll
up.
find something.
If nothing else, it'll get you guys on TV. It'll help out.
I know what you mean because it's like my dad was the same way, but he was with airplane stuff. So the garage at home, he restored a couple of airplanes in the garage. We had a huge garage, and I mean, dude, like a full fuselage from a 41 Fairchild 24 was hanging in the ceiling rafters in my garage.
Wow, that's
he
awesome.
had like
Cool.
wing spars tucked up underneath eaves in the roof, and cylinder parts that just. I was a little kid. I can remember going down the garage and looking at his toolbox, and this massive piston, was quite a few inches apart across in diameter. I'm like, what the hell is that? And he's like, oh, that's for a Jacobs 7-cylinder radial. And I'm going, what? I mean, there's just stuff
What?
everywhere. That's what I grew up with, is like parts everywhere, and it was airplanes, and it was cars and dirt bikes. So I feel for you. I know that the older guys they hung on to quite a bit of stuff.
Pack rats. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that. I have a hard time
more
putting
power
good stuff
to 'em.
away.
Yeah. Hey, we all have coffee cans full of nuts and bolts that we might use again, right?
That's right. That's right.
But when you have 200 coffee cans,
I've got
it's like,
5-gallon buckets full of SE and metric in my garage.
Well, my old man was also a crane operator, and he had one of the big 140 tonners that he used to run. And I guess when they had to replace some of the bearings on the turn so that the cab turned on the chassis, he brought a couple of them home. The things probably weigh 20 pounds a piece in there. These gigantic. They almost look like softballs. That's how big these bearings are. And he's like, there's hundreds of them, in the ring that the cab turns on. It's like you hold it, and he's like, holy shit, man, I can't even imagine throwing this thing.
That's crazy.
It's like it's heavier than a shot put. But it's like you find stuff like that you just don't know. It's like these treasures that you find hidden that these guys had hidden away.
Back when I was a kid, I used to go to the junkyard with an older gentleman, and he used to say hardware. He says, take fuses, nuts, bolts, whatever
Yep.
you can, and we would just load up, like you said, coffee cans. And,
Yep.
and we had wagons, and we'd pull the wagons over to Robinson's right up the street and just
Yep.
load it all up. It's like, 'cause you just never know when you're working on the next project where you need that obscure fastener.
You know what gets me though is like yesterday I was putting a piece on my bicycle and I needed a bolt. And I look at my coffee can full of bolts, and I'm like, son of a bitch, I got to dump this thing out my bench.
Yep.
And it's not the whole dumping out part that sucks. It's putting it all back in the can again when you're done.
Wait a
Our
minute, hold
problem
on.
is coffee cans have turned into 5-gallon pails. So picking up nuts and bolts and putting them in a 5-gallon pail.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for anybody who wants a bucket of bolts,
Yeah.
you know where to go.
Raph Masiello says I save cans of my tears. He's really sour about me whooping his ass at Mad Skills.
Well, you know what was cool, Ben, is I had gone to a get together over the summer last year, and I think it was Mark Betancourt came down, and he was handing out to everybody. He had like Ziploc bags full of bolts. And he would
What a
hand us
party favor.
bolts, and it was like, but you know,
Anyone else would be like, "What are you doing?" Motocross guys like the
but you're a
metric,
guy like it's
Is
like
that a 10
it's like
millimeter?
Right.
yeah, it's like
the
gold.
holy rail, right?
It's
Exactly.
gold,
It
you
is.
know.
Yep.
And then, of course, when you're at home and stuff, it's like your neighbor's like, man, I got to get a bolt. Come on over. I got
Right.
something.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I got to have something in my garage.
Oh, anytime something's broken, needs repair, my neighbors come to me because they know I've got something in the garage that's going to make it work.
Yep.
I mean, when I was growing up, it's funny because, you never think about having to go anywhere and buy things like that, and you don't realize how many people are like, I got to go to the hardware store.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I ever remember taking a trip to a hardware store.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny.
The hardware store is,
actually,
my grandfather's garage.
I bought one of those hardware bin storage units from Harbor Freight this past summer.
Yep.
I actually started to organize all my hardware. So I've got a metric and an ASC side. So I put, just making it easier.
That's cool.
I did like a low denomination, like the 6 through 8, and then 9, 10, 11, and just
I think
making it easy.
I think though, you're onto something though too, Ben, because it's like, I think I was probably 18 years old when I finally was like, what do you mean I got to go buy that bolt? Where would I go? Where am I going to get a bolt? I've never bought a bolt in my life. Where am I going to go buy a bolt?
Right.
It's like,
Yeah. I had to buy stainless hardware for an exhaust one time, and I didn't even know Home Depot sold hardware. It just anything I ever needed, I just was there. I consider myself lucky, and most people wouldn't know what to do with it. But us especially, kind of trying to revive all this old stuff and appreciate the stuff that is there. We're lucky, but a lot of people, it's just that's what you do.
Yeah.
It's such a different life,
absolutely. I mean, one of the problems I had was, when I finally did have to start buying hardware and I figured out where to go, my dad's stuff, a lot of it was airplane stuff. So the bolts have been lightened, so the heads are drilled out and stuff like that. And it's like, you go in with a one that's stripped out and you're like, where do I find one of these with the holes in it,
Right.
Where do I put the safety wire?
Yeah.
This plastic bolt come out.
But no, that's cool. It is, and that's kind of what it's all about. I mean, it's fabricating stuff to work when you can't get it,
That's right.
Yeah, and I think that's a mindset
Redneck
of just, a different
Engineering.
generation,
Yep. I'm running into it with the KX. There's stuff that's discontinued that I just can't get, so I have to figure out how to make it work. And just out of a small garage with a bench grinder, a bunch of nuts and bolts and things like that, I've been able to do a lot of fabricating that I would have never even thought twice that I would be able to do it. But
Right.
there it is. The bike's running. The bike's solid, and I'm looking forward to a good time getting out riding it. Of course, if it breaks at the track, I'm kind of screwed. But
Yeah, but that's vintage racing, though. You work
Yep.
on it for 3 weeks, don't get any sleep, you get there and it breaks. It breaks.
Hey, that happened back then too, though, when the bikes were new.
It's no different. It's like they're new, huh?
Yeah, it's just like they knew. We became quite proficient in duct tape, WD-40, and zip ties to get us through a race.
It's engineering expertise.
JB
Now it's like, who's got a spare carb, a spare wheel?
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
your brother just tuned in. He was a little busy. He was building a guitar body. No time for work till tomorrow, Thursday.
Oh,
Hank, thanks for showing up, buddy.
my brother's he's building guitars now. So
I saw
I mean,
that.
it
He's gonna
went
come out. I got
from
my CNC out back.
it went from bicycles and motorcycles and all that stuff to now he's building guitars.
Casey Bates says he's got a PhD degree in redneck engineering. And legit, Casey taught me a lot of my redneck engineering. So.
Now, I saw, and I can't remember who it is, I saw somebody that needed a form-fitted washer, like with a cone-style shape to it. And what they did was they took a penny and they drilled a hole in the middle of the penny and put the bolt in it. When they tightened it down, it formed it into a cup.
Nice.
And it fit, and it worked.
Well,
and
I
it
saw
got
a
him
thing
through.
online the other day. A guy was actually, he had his drill press set up. And he was drilling out pennies as washers. He said they're cheaper than washers.
Yeah, the pennies are cheaper than washers.
Oh, it was great.
And they work.
Yep. Yep. So
Yeah, especially over at Acura, if you want a copper washer for that drain pan, you know, what are you paying, $9?
Dude, that's right.
So I swear, I'm telling you, it's like we have tons of washers, 4 different sizes, 14, 18, 20, and 24, depending on what the service on the car takes. And they're all reasonably priced washers. But what a lot of the manufacturers are doing is the new transmission fluids, you need drain bolts, and they have like a special coating on the drain bolt and like a felt seal on it that doesn't erode and doesn't crush because it's no longer a crush washer. Well, dude, these drain bolts are like $14 a piece or something like that to put, and you need like 4 of them in the transmission.
Wow.
So it's kind of like the oil itself is expensive. It's getting to be, $60, $70 for a quart, and you need 3-4 quarts, and then you need these drain bolts. So it's like your transmission services are starting to go out of sky high. And it's not just, our cars. It's virtually all these cars are using, your 8-speed, your 9-speed transmissions. They all need these special lubes to get in and actually run them.
Yeah, and you get Acura on the bag, so that's a markup of 25% right there for the name.
Well, you would think so. But it's not.
But it's more like 100. No.
Exactly.
Hey, everybody needs a car. Somebody, I got to do something to make money. But no, it's cool. It's there's a lot of stuff out there that you just can't work on anymore, and it's nice to see. What you're doing with the cars, what Dave's doing with the motor swap, all these people building bikes. Just before we came on the show tonight, Jeff Comboy had a great post about it's so cool to see all these people pulling these bikes out and starting to rebuild them and getting them running. And even if you don't go to the track and you race, you're building something, from your past, something that for me,
it's passion.
Yeah, it's a passion. What got me into it was I wanted, one of my favorite motorcycles. So I was lucky enough that my friend John Levesque at Ronnies found me the 89 KX 250 that I wanted. And it's just like, I highly suggest doing that and, getting something that was when you were a kid. That was what you wanted, and get it, do it, ride it, hold on to it, do whatever, but just make it a project, Yep. And
it's cool, and I'm hoping to get younger and younger people to get into it.
Yep.
Because the most fun I've ever had is actually vintage racing of all racing, all sports and stuff. And it's really cool to see. Just one of my buddies, he found a bike that his dad had, and one of his friends had it, and it was like in a pile of parts, and the motor was ripped apart because they were going to do something to it.
Yep.
And he took this pile. It was an I think it's an 86 IT 200,
Ooh,
I believe.
Beautiful.
And he just got it together, buttoned it up, did a little bit of maintenance, and he took it to Unadilla last year with us and had one heck of a time. And it was just great to see that,
That's
somebody
so
took
cool.
something that was probably going to get thrown in the dump.
Yeah.
And just got it out, went racing, and he's hooked now. So we're trying to get even more buddies to just instead of looking past the thing in the corner that your uncle had or something, it's like, hey, why don't you just get it running and come out with us? What's a new bike now? $10,000?
Yeah.
It's
they're up there.
To see people get out and race in an environment where you don't have to be NESC expert with 15 grand and stuff to go racing. So we love it, and we're just trying to kind of make it cool again.
Right. Absolutely. Make it to a point where you can go out and you can enjoy it. I was thinking about that the other day. For me, I'm at that point in my riding life where those days of practicing and trying to hit a corner perfect and cleaning a section, getting over the jumps just to get better and better, those days are gone. Those days are gone for
We've
me.
talked about that, right?
I just want to enjoy it. I just want to go out and lay the bike down in a corner and just roll the throttle on and be able to take everything that I've learned and developed
nice,
over the years.
Fun turn as opposed to that nice big jump.
Yeah, exactly. And if something happens, if my bike, if I blow a gear or I fall off the pipe and I crash, whatever, it's like I'm out there and I'm enjoying it. I don't feel like I have to try to get better
You're enjoying
to do
just
it.
The environment itself as much as you are as just riding the
Exactly.
bike. So it's
Exactly.
a different experience over the age of 40.
And that's the whole vintage scene though now.
Right.
I love it. The pits are just as much fun as the race,
Yeah.
which is hard to believe.
Yep.
And it's
such a blast.
And it's cool to be able to just get out there and cruise around and see the guys that have I would say there's the guys that build the bikes that are in showroom condition that they want to display, and you look at a beautifully restored bike, and you look at it, it's just like, oh my gosh, I remember this right off the showroom floor in like 1982 or 1983, compared to something that somebody's racing and they're wiring it together every week, and you're like, look at that, that's a great idea to hold that piece on that bike so you can get back out there, and it just, you find that balance in between where you want to be, and that's how you go about it.
I will say this, though, having the vintage bikes, it's like the ultimate icebreaker for conversation. People walk up and they want to talk bike. So. Right.
Well, we Justin and I, I'm sorry, Ben and I just talked about that. I'm getting ahead of myself there. About how, like, I had done my KX, and now I shared a picture of a KX 400 earlier. Yep. That's, I think, the next one for me is an air-cooled, low-pipe motocrosser that I can just roll out of the trailer, start up, put back in the trailer.
Yep. Like my 500.
Well, that's not a low pipe.
No, but it comes out of the trailer, I start up, I let it idle, I put it back in the trailer.
Yep.
Low pipes are almost getting to that point, though, where they almost have to be showroom because they're getting harder and harder to find and harder and harder to keep keep race condition when you're beating it. They take abuse, just as much as your body does.
And my next point I was going to say was when, Ben, you had said to me, you're like, well, being tall, that might not be a good bike.
I know. I'm on the line last year at Unidone. I think somebody had a KX, must have been a 74 250 low pipe, and I was like, "Is that an 80?" I'm looking at the thing, I don't know if I can ride that thing. Whew.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
That's more like you got to kind of like lean, put a knee out in the corners like a road bike.
It's a pit bike rules apply.
Hank just posted he wants a YZ490. I want one of those too. I want a YZ490.
YZ490s are good. They're the ping machine though.
They are. Last of the air hammers. That's
the
it.
air hammer.
Last one.
Yep. I don't know. Most of those YZs though, they're out there. They're good bikes. The only thing that scares me is the old dreaded Yamaha, with that first early generation of the monoshocks, and how the guys would tell us that, oh yeah, they got that, you go into a corner and it might just hop around on you and get sideways and you're on the ground.
Yep. Before you know it.
But no, those are cool bikes.
Yep.
So other than that, before we let you go, Ben, I do want to say we appreciate you coming on tonight and talking and talking about the company.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, no, thanks for the shirts too. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Is there?
You guys are you're doing the same thing we're doing, just trying to get the word out there and support all this old iron. So the least I could do.
So, is there anybody that you want to thank? And is there any plans, specific things coming up that you want to put out there?
Definitely want to thank my family. Obviously, it's a family effort to try to bring back a family business that kind of went by the wayside, and kind of bring this into what we think it can be. And it takes a lot of hours after work. I mean, we all work 40, 50 plus, and we spend a lot of time, a lot of hours logged late nights, in the shop trying to kind of build this dream. So I'd like to thank all of them, and then I'd like to thank Justin for kind of getting me in touch with you guys. Like I mentioned to you, Jim, sometimes when you're working and you're trying to do all of the content and do the editing and also build the business itself, even in its physical location, you sometimes can't branch out and reach out and connect with people like you want to. So it's nice to have other people looking out for you and everything. And
absolutely.
So I appreciate all the supporters who actually kind of are in my corner helping this become a reality, because there's a lot more people. My girlfriend, their family is very supportive. My family, obviously. So there's a lot of great people out there, kind of, who are all on this side of the fence.
That's super cool. Yeah. I saw a great post. It might have even been something that you shared the other day, Dave. I'm not sure who did it. Was it the one that said 9 to 5 pays the bills, 6 to 12 builds the legacy?
The Empire.
The Empire builds the Empire.
That was me. I shared that. Yep.
So there you go. I mean, that's what it is. You just got to put it in and get it done.
Yeah. So, but it helps when you're passionate about it.
That's what it is. If you love it, it's all worth it in the end. If it's something that you're struggling with, then maybe it's time to sit back and reassess and think about what you want to do.
That's right.
And what is it that you really like? Life's too short to
what they say.
To waste time and doing something.
You don't work a day in your life.
Yeah, so. It's too short to waste time doing something that you don't love to do.
Yep.
Yep.
you know. Well, cool.
Awesome.
We totally appreciate you coming on.
Oh, absolutely. No,
And
thank you guys.
I look forward to getting out there and you know, seeing some of the stuff that you guys got going on. I know that we're going to cross paths at a few places this year because we're doing Rewind, and
good.
we're going to do a few of the ACR events too. So
Awesome.
definitely try to get to Southwick and Central Village as long as the dates allow it and nothing, you know, conflicts. But 2021, the Vintage Supercross at Daytona, that's going to be an absolute blast to see all those guys down there on the bikes, you know, that everybody's building.
Yep.
Oh, that sounds super cool, yeah.
Yep. But anyway, we appreciate, you know, you coming on and talking, and hopefully, like I said, we continue to spread the word. And
Yeah, we'll get you back on later towards the summer, Ben, and we'll catch up and talk shop again.
Awesome. I appreciate it, guys.
all right,
Cool. All right.
All right, thanks
Ben.
again.
We appreciate it. Have a good night, bud.
have a great night.
You too.
Thanks, Ben.
So, guys, there's Ben Strenkowski. Did I say
Yeah,
that
Ben
right?
Ben Strenkowski.
Strenkowski.
Yep,
Sorry. Yep.
and he's from Retroformance.
Yes.
So
So look him up.
It's,
like on Instagram and on Facebook.
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. YouTube is the big one that we're all trying to, you know, get involved with now
Yep.
because it allows us to do a lot of video content.
Yeah, we get some cool stuff going on. That's
so
for
it's
certain.
it's at Retroformance.
Yep. Yep.
There he is, though.
Jimbo.
Oh,
Dude!
Hey!
Oh, Dave.
Where's my pizza?
If I had to guess, you already ate it.
So we got John Levesque from Ronnies Cycles on the horn here, and
Hi, guys.
you might notice in the picture behind us, John's doing the stand exercises. Dave picked it at a rather inappropriate frame, though, to display on the computer monitor behind us.
Can you explain what's going on there?
I can't see it, but if I had to guess, it's probably not my best angle.
It's you're bending down trying to lift up the wheel, and the fender's in your face. I think it was about the time you said, "This ain't no 500." So what's going on up at Ronnie Cycles?
Well, a lot. It seems to be tax season. Everybody's got winter fever, and a lot of two-wheel action going out the door, and not any one bike. And it could be a Yamaha, it could be a Honda.
Yeah. How's the promo code
KTM.
working out? Promo code really going full force up there, huh?
It is. It's working out pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. By the way, I think I have rights to that promo code.
I heard you had a special guest up there signing autographs this past weekend. Did you get any pictures?
They did. They did get pictures. No, that was fun.
I think Jim was, or the customer was starstruck.
That's so cool. I love it. So
It was a good time.
how much snow do you have down up there? Anything start melting yet?
Not a ton.
I'm trying to
Not
plan
a
my
ton.
spring. I got to make a trip
we
up
have
that
a
way.
ton of snow, not a ton of meltage.
Okay, all
So
right. Yeah.
probably in my yard, probably still 8-10 inches.
Okay, so a decent amount. Yeah.
The shop wasn't. The shop
compared
wasn't
to
too
what
bad.
Foxborough has.
Yeah, we got nothing down here.
Mansfield.
We got nothing down here.
Nothing.
Yeah. It was 40 degrees. We were riding moto at Wareham on Sunday.
I know. Oh, I was saying when I talked to John earlier today, it was 60 degrees out yesterday. I was on my mountain bike in Foxborough Forest.
Oh, wait a minute. Gary Frink says, John Frink, the guy that can pick things up and put them down, my kind of guy.
I don't know how many views we have on that video
It's
yet.
a lot. It's up there.
But
The best part was when you knocked over the stand, John. I thought for sure the bike was going over into the desk.
It was close. I have to tell you, and you probably won't believe this, but that was not pre-planned. That popped out of my head in last second.
this is just the influence that I have over you.
That's it. That's it. So I mean that's what you get. You didn't have an hour meter on the bike stand. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, things are gonna go wrong.
Who said it though? Was it Phil that said we need to get a counter as well? And
Yeah,
put-
think it
said
was.
we need an hour meter on the bike stand, on and off.
It just said, not all heroes wear capes. I think it's recording John.
Well, John is a hero. I mean, look at the amount of motorcycles that we're putting back into the community.
This is true. Yep.
He is a hero.
Yep. Everything but those white ones. So that's Dave Hutchins' territory.
That's Hutch. Hutch can handle the white ones. John's
More
got the rest.
importantly, nice shirt. I didn't get a team green shirt this week. Is that because I ride a Honda?
Well, at the moment.
That's not cool.
Wait a minute. Did you just say you ride a Honda or you own a Honda?
Oh, I knew that was coming. You know, you won't be singing that same tune on Cultivating Your Lawn in the spring. I'm just saying. So,
He's going to be thankful that he doesn't have to pay somebody to do
I'm
it.
telling you, you wait. And I'm going to roll it right in the showroom. I'm going to pull a second gear hole shot and empty the entire tank of fuel and two-stroke fumes indoors.
Just make sure I have somebody filming it because I would love to see it.
Oh, you better listen. I'll bring a film crew. So,
How are you going to film it and ride?
I know people. I got people in low places. Relax. So listen, we know people. Don't worry.
So, in all seriousness, so today I had a conversation with a customer. I had a lot that called and mentioned they saw an ad or two on Facebook, and it made me realize after about 15 minutes we got way off track. We weren't even talking about bikes or price or anything. We were just talking about who we used to hang with and who we raced against and who we parked next to. And it made me realize, how cool the group is.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
We all reconnected, and today, in fact, I was talking to one of Murph's friends.
Yep.
And we were just shooting the breeze.
Yeah.
And small world. We probably parked next to each other at one time or another, but it made me realize that the group is more about bonding, connecting.
Yep.
Moto family.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
I always say it's about the people and the experiences more than anything else. It's, nobody really cares who did what, over their years. It's more like, did we ever hang out,
Well, it's funny you bring that up. Like, I had never met Gary before this past year.
Yep.
And I felt like after talking with Gary at MX23, legit, I felt like I knew the guy for 20 years.
Yeah.
And then when Lee and I picked him up and took him to the museum for the rider reunion, we never laughed so hard, the three of us, all the way in. Oh, my God.
It's amazing.
But three different generations, like none of us, Lee and I rode together, but we never with Gary.
It's amazing when you
it's
start
awesome.
talking to people for the first time and you think like, man, we knew each other for 10 years,
Sure.
Yep. I mean, John and I, even though we might have raced together a couple of times here and there, or I should say, even though I got beat by John a couple of times way back when, it's like we started hanging out and talking more, and it's just like, holy shit, man, I feel like I've known you for 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I have probably known you for 20 years, but as a personal friend. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's we're all cut from the same canvas.
We are.
Yep.
No matter how you slice it.
Yep.
It's true. I try to explain it to people. I said the moto life, the motocross community is unlike any other. I said I legit could pick up my phone if I was in prison and say I need bail money, and I'd have a list of people that would show up.
Oh yeah.
And ask no questions asked.
Yep.
Hey Dave, and then maybe they wouldn't.
That hurts. That hurts deep inside, So all right, scratch John off my list of people to call.
Well, if you only get one phone call.
That's true. That's true. So,
I'd be there. I'd be there.
Exactly.
It cost you, but
That's right. Like I tell people, I said it's the only sport where, if you've got a problem with your bike, the guy that you're racing against will be right there in the pit giving you parts that he's got to make sure you're on the gate to race against him.
Yep.
Like no man left behind. So you never see that in any other sport.
How many stories over the years, have you got where somebody breaks down and, one of their competitors gives them a practice bike
Yep.
to go out and race in the same class, and they're racing against each other?
Ralph Masiello said he would also let me rot in prison. Thanks, Ralph. Appreciate it, buddy.
But I mean, I can remember seeing guys loan practice bikes to their competitors and sometimes get beat by their own practice bike.
Yeah, I did that to a guy back in the late 90s. I had a guy lend me a KX250 and his practice bike because I had a flat tire going to the line. I had no time to change it. He gave me his practice bike. I went out and I finished third. He finished in sixth.
That's
He's
cool.
like, I lost to my own bike. I'm like, yes, you did. Thank you for saving my points. Yeah.
So here's a good one. So now we're older, and at Southwick this year, I don't know if you guys heard, but John Jacobite didn't make the second moto.
Yep.
He went down to the line. He had a flat tire, and I was headed down for my second moto, and I'm like, "What's going on?" He said, "I got a flat tire," and he was holding a beverage, and I'm like, "Wow, what a great idea!" So,
What a great idea.
what a great idea! So, this year, if I'm not feeling it, I'm gonna hand out some ice picks and maybe not make the second moto. So not quite the same, but it is as we get older.
Dude, you know what's going to happen at the race this year? You can always turn around and say, "Yeah, I can't line up for the second moto, but watch that 189. Jim's on it."
That's it. Yeah. Can you bring enough bikes for all of us, John?
It might be Moto 1 too.
Yeah, actually, John Jacobite just said I didn't make Moto 1. I didn't make the first moto. Yep.
He had a beverage in his hand.
And actually, Casey Bates just put a good one up too. He says, "I'm pretty sure that Dave and me both had gone home together via the cops because we did. Him and I got arrested when we were like 11 years old at Tom's Texaco, and Tom's Texaco is right next to Middleborough, right? The intersection right there. There's a trail that comes up the back. That was from Casey's house. We came up one day. The environmental police were there. He literally cuffed and stuffed us back at the cruiser. Both Casey's dad and my dad were furious. They're like, "My kids are riding dirt bikes. You threw cuffs on them?" "Oh yeah, we're legit cuffed and stuffed in the back of the cruiser. Let's go." This is like 1985. Oh yeah, swear to God.
I knew Casey was a bad influence.
He is.
But wait, was it you that was the influence on Casey?
A little bit of both. So.
Oh my God.
Too funny, but I have to tell you, whatever happened that day at Southwick with Jacobite, that was too bad, but that's genius.
Yeah. So.
No, it's cool because it's for most of us now, it's more about just getting out and enjoying the ride as it is to, trying to win. Granted, when the gate drops, you got that split second where it's like, I want to win.
When you're older, it's literally a split second.
It's literally a split second. The gate drops and you're like, I gotta go.
I gotta do about the first turn. So that's it.
If I get through the first turn and I'm in the top 2 or 3, and I got a clear track in front of me, like maybe John and Doug, like it happened that day, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.
Few turns. That's it.
As soon as I knew Buckley snapped the photo, I was done. I just shut it down.
My brother used to say that, John, all the time. My brother would buy the best of the gear and everything, and he'd say it's all about the photo op. He goes, I just want to make sure I look good for the photo. He goes, after that, I don't care.
Yeah, but you could do that in practice.
This is it would be practice. He would look great.
That's when Paul would take pictures in practice because we'd all be clean.
That's right. That's right. He's out of there by noon.
If you could afford, well, even now, I mean, he was saying with the computer and everything. He gets out and practicing the first set of motos, and then he's uploading into the computer so that you can buy your photos by the end of the day.
Oh, wait a minute. Gary Frink says, I remember John coming up with excuses not to ride that second moto.
But he wrote it.
Yeah, so.
I didn't want to. I was done. I'm like, but I already got the photo.
Oh,
yeah, you were out there. I got the whole shot in the second one, thankfully.
Yeah, you did.
It didn't
There's
take.
nothing I could do about it either.
It didn't take long until Doug went past me.
Yeah.
It took about a lap, and then Doug went past me, and I just watched him ride away. Oh my God,
that's fantastic. So what else is going on with Ronnie's Cycle? What else are you selling besides It's All Jim's Fault motorcycles? How's the sled sales going? How are the ATV sales going? Everything else? Are you selling everything or what?
Yeah, we're selling a little bit of everything. Snowmobile sales. People think winter's still going to carry on, and that's good because it wasn't a good winter, but not for southern Vermont.
Well,
and
just from coming home, like I we had talked about coming over the mountains there on Route 9. There's a lot of snow up there.
There is, but today was up on Woodford Mountain. My son had a ski race on that same mountain, and we were up there. It was near 50 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah.
So as quick as the snow came, it's going to go, and hopefully. And not that moto guys want to hear it, hopefully the riding season for snowmobile keeps up just a little bit longer.
Yeah,
because the way it's going, it's going to be
maybe
a long
4
mud
more
season.
weeks.
Yep.
Well, Marie and I were just having that conversation the other day and said, it's been a relatively mild winter around here, but we both have that gut feeling that we're going to get one storm. We're going to get one storm that's going to dump 6+. And I mean, sometime in the next month, it's
Has to, right?
It does every year. It does every year. If it's like this, you usually get whaled with one. And granted, the snow's only here for like 3 days.
Yep.
But you get hammered with it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I was just there, a week and a half ago, Jim?
Yep.
And you guys you don't even have salt or sand on the side of the roads.
No,
We really
there's
don't.
nothing.
We really
there's
don't.
nothing. Every once in a while, there's salt and sand on the roads after, a cold night.
Yep.
And then you get 2 days of rain and everything's washed away.
Right.
I can say after doing a lot of mountain bike riding and stuff and been in the forests quite a bit, the low areas and stuff, it's very wet in some of the forests. Places like in Foxborough, there's areas that are usually just a stream and it's gushing because there's so much rainwater and stuff coming out of the ground. But it's not frozen.
Yeah, but my only concern is it's going to be, like I said, a really wet spring. The mosquitoes are going to be as big as Volkswagens.
Yes. Well, you know what? I can share this because it's one of Marie's birthday presents, and I can talk about it. We got a bat house.
I've got a couple of houses. Yep.
So we would love to have all the bats in the neighborhood come hang out in our bat house so that we have the least amount of mosquitoes in our yard.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice. Hey, so on another note, and Dave, you brought this up today, so I think there's going to be a grudge match between me and Gary and Lee and Dave.
How
All
did
right.
I get dragged into this?
Yeah. I think you brought yourself into it.
No. I said that you need to be involved with Lee and Gary Frank because you're now bench pressing bikes there. You're doing like the Ken Kaplan thing. Oh wait, you're kind of doing squats, not really bench pressing, but that's okay. No. Although the picture I took, I'm not quite sure if I'd call that squatting. That's probably another. I don't know. Maybe our viewers can tell us what you're doing.
Hey, Jim, we got to set this up. Dave's already backing out. I can hear it.
I know.
Is it just straight drag racing? I'm in. I listen. I can only turn left. I'm like a NASCAR.
It could be bike stands. It could be drag racing. Whatever you want.
Whatever it is.
You
All
pick.
right.
Hey, I'll get the GoPro and I'll follow.
Of course you will. Right.
I'll follow.
You just want to get the mayhem when we all crash in the first turn, and it's.
And then I'll just pass you all and be like, listen, I wasn't even in this grudge match and I won.
There you go.
How did that happen?
God. Yep. That's it. I'm double riding with Gary.
You double riding. Who's gonna ride bitch?
No, I'm gonna. No, listen. He's a fabricator. We're gonna build a sidecar. I'll ride bitch in the sidecar. I'll do that.
Could you imagine that?
Yes.
Sidecar. That's what we should do,
It's
John.
big over in Europe. The sidecar racing.
We should have sidecar motocross.
We need sidecar. There's a such thing. They exist. Yep.
We should do that. We should all have. We should build up a couple of sidecars.
We should.
And
Like, rock paper
team.
scissors for who's riding in the
who's
car.
riding? I'm not riding in the cart. No way. I'm on the throttle, man.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. We do have fun with each other. That's for sure. It's for certain.
Too funny.
Oh yes.
That is. So.
But yeah,
Too funny. Did you guys eat tonight? Did anybody feed you?
I had cookies. I'm on a diet. I see food. I eat it. Hey, thanks again for that pizza, John. That pizza hit the spot.
That was perfect. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
When I called and ordered, they're like, "Oh, it's going to be a half hour." I didn't even click the button to hit, Facebook, and who's here? I hear the doorbell.
Oh yeah, it was right as the show was starting. The timing was really good. It was awesome. Yep.
my belly hurt for about 2 days after that.
Yep.
You are an eating machine.
Dude.
Yep.
Oh,
Well, Jeff O'Connell's gonna us all beat. That kid can eat.
He can, but you know what? I got two things: pizza and donuts. If you put them in front of me, I'm gonna eat them. And Marie just gave the look to the heavens.
Oh, wait a minute.
Good Lord.
Ralph Masiello and Digger, they've talked about that sidecar as well. He says he'll ride monkey. We might have a series here. I think we need a sidecar series.
We gotta build some sidecars.
Casey, I can build one. Oh boy.
Dave, what team are you on?
So-
you have to pick a team. You called it.
I know. I do. Well, it depends. We have to find. Do we have an odd and even number? If it's an even number, I'll sit out.
No. I got my monkey for my sidecar. He already told me he's gonna do it. So.
Oh, Gary Frank's in. This is team racing. Me and John against Lee and Dave. Let's do it. 3 laps each rider. He's in.
All right.
Oh
all right.
boy.
Hey, Dave, you're in.
Sure. All right. What the hell? All right. Fine. Wait, but listen, Ronnies Cycle is donating some really cool swag for the winners. I mean, I'm probably not winning, so it doesn't really matter. But
It doesn't matter if you win. Just you can't come up with an excuse. You can't paint your neighbor's house this summer, or relative nothing. You have to be in.
that's fine. That's fine. So no big deal. Oh, this doesn't have a good ending. This does not have a good ending.
If you gotta paint somebody's house, you know it could be mine. You come up here.
I painted my own house last
paint my
year.
house.
Great, thanks. I'll go paint your house for you, John. No problem.
He's gonna. You won't have to ride that way.
That's right.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
this isn't going to be good. Yeah, what could go wrong? A bunch of 40 and 50-year-old guys double riding on motocross bikes. Yeah, sure. Do me a favor.
Travis does it.
Could you do me a favor, Marie? Program 9-1 in your phone, so there's only one number left to hit speed dial. Exactly.
You just have it there and ready to go, so that you just have to hit send as
Exactly,
soon as you hear the bang, hit send.
Right, exactly.
When you hear a grown man go, ooh!
Well, Casey Bates already says, just send me the measurements. I can have it built in a month.
But Kenny built 3 of them.
Don't challenge him. He's an aircraft engineer.
Oh, I know.
Yep.
Well, we'll have to ride tandem. What do they call that? If we don't have any side hacks, ride tandem.
Oh no.
Right, Dave, I think they call it nuts and butts.
I'm sitting backwards. So I'm not putting my nuts to your butt. I'm going butt to butt. No, I'm riding backwards.
You got Lee.
You know what? The more important.
You're going to be with Lee, not me.
All right, I'm riding on Lee's shoulders. Listen, I'm not going. I'm riding clown.
It's like playing Marco
That's
Polo in a pool
It
with
is.
somebody in your shoulder. Chicken fights.
You know what? Even better. Let's take this another whole level. So jousting. So the passenger needs a joust. So yes, and try to knock the other guy off the bike. Perfect. Bonus points.
We're all old though. We're gonna break as soon as we hit the ground.
Yep. So, and I don't think MX-23 will wear too many trees in the way. It's going to be someplace soft, like Wareham or Southwick. We need soft sand.
If there's trees, it makes good hiding spots.
That's true. Jack likes to hide in the woods. I've caught
Get
him
to
out
the
a
trees.
few
Get to the
times.
trees quick! You can't get me if I'm in the trees.
Oh God. Well, he's trying to hurt me. He's trying to hurt me. So.
I can't believe we still have 37 people watching.
Do we really? There's 38. Yeah, look at that. Jesus, unbelievable. So, yeah. So.
That's
And
crazy.
hey, John, out of curiosity, are you a Dunkin' Donuts guy? I'm asking for a friend.
No donuts.
No donuts. All right.
No
okay.
donuts. I'm on a regiment.
Yeah?
And I can't tell you.
I was gonna get you a nice gift card, but never mind. So,
No,
okay.
no,
All right.
no donuts.
All right. So,
He's on a diet.
I'm on a diet. And it's not the seafood diet.
Okay, so there's one thing that I remember seeing, a meme one day that says, I choked on an apple. A donut would have never done that to me.
there you go.
That's all
Yep.
me.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
My staff will attest to that. To be like,
Uh-oh.
if this kid could eat donuts 24/7, he would.
Casey Bates is posting up links to sidecar cross. Oh, this is concerning.
Casey wants
He
in.
does. He'll drive
Casey
over
wants
Virginia.
in.
He'll drive all the way over from Virginia. I can see it now.
I got my sidecar guy. He's ready to go with me whenever. We've talked about this for years. Danny and I have talked about doing sidecar
Yeah?
motocross.
Okay.
So we just
Dan Leclerc's in.
Dan Leclerc's in.
You'd ride. What about your brother? What about Hank?
no.
No? Too big?
I don't know if he would want to. He wouldn't
Yeah?
want. He
You don't
wouldn't
think
want
so?
me riding. Dan doesn't get. Dan's like, yeah, let's go. Hit that jump. You better. He'd tell me I'm a pussy if I didn't stay on the gas. He'd be yelling at me, hitting me while I'm racing like a jockey on a horse.
You understand? The more I think about this could be a hilarious event. It really could.
Yep. And John, we know sometimes Dan comes up a little short in his jumps.
Hank Bosch your brother's brought up a great point. Hank says donuts kill less people than crack. True. Or that dealer, that new drug dealer, Jim Boshin, the CBD guy. See, John, what's your feelings on that? Jim's pushing the CBD now. I mean, do you think that's good or bad?
I think it's good.
I think it's good.
It works for
And,
me.
Just so you know, the promo code. I think I got some royalties to that as well. So
Yep. Oh, wait a minute. Raf Masiello wants to know, is Ronnie's going to sponsor the Sidecar Monkeys race?
I will, Dave. You're in.
I'm in. I got to ride. I'm sponsored. That's it.
Who's gonna drive between you and Lee?
You know what? We should make it every other lap. We gotta switch. We gotta switch. You gotta switch drivers, like a relay. You must switch every lap.
Me and Danny were in identical gear. You're never
There's
gonna
a
know.
size difference there. You're like 6'3". He's like 5'4".
I'll sit down. One lap I sit, one lap I stand.
Oh God. Oh, that's scary. Very scary. Yeah. What could go wrong? Oh yeah, I can see it now. Rep Masiello says Jim in quotes the pusher push.
The pusher.
That's your new butt patch, the pusher.
I try
and
to
it can
do a
double
good-
up as two things.
I try to do a good thing.
But thing, you know it's going to go off the rails.
It does.
Yep. Hashtag Jim's high. Phil Bonito. Oh, boy. We have 34 people still watching. This is off
I
the
know.
rails.
I
It's going to be a
know.
roast session on your drug adventure.
Well, you know, the thing is though, it's like it's got 0 THC, so it's got no,
Right. But what are the long-term
hallucinogenic effects or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Okay.
So
All right. So, yeah.
the long-term effects are my arthritis doesn't hurt me as much. I can attest to that.
Okay. All right. I can support that.
That's what they tell you anyway.
Oh boy.
You have to send me some samples. I want to try it.
We'll
get it for you.
Ralph just said he says you got to have that patch in the back of your gear, the pusher.
That could mean two things in the motocross
I know.
world. That's not a good thing
Yeah,
because that means you're pushing your bike off the track every moto.
This is true. So it could mean something else entirely different.
Yeah, and that ain't me either.
Oh boy, where do we find these people? Yeah.
Off the
Why would
rails.
you use it without THC? Oh boy,
How many guys you got watching?
36.
34, 35.
34.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, we had as many as 70 up.
Yeah, when we had Ben on, we had up to upwards of 71.
Yeah.
I don't know where that number came from, but I like it.
Yeah, so good stuff. Good stuff.
It dropped down as soon as you called me. Thanks, Dave.
What? How did that bring you down?
It's
What
all
the hell?
Dave. It's Dave's fault.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts. So, oh wait, we're up a couple more. 34.
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable. So, good show tonight, though. There are lots of laughs. So, unbelievable. So, any do you want to poke some more fun at me before we hang up on you?
No.
No?
No. I think it's a two-way street. I think we got a great relationship.
I think we do too. All right. More importantly, so let's talk prices on bikes out the door before we hang up. So, what are the specials? What's Itsjimsfault get you? So, let's go. What's a KXF 450 going for out the door?
Well, we sold out in CRF 450s.
All right,
on
so
the
they're done.
$7,100 special, but we're still holding strong on the YZ250 at $7,100.
All right. Okay.
That's the smoker. That's a two-stroke.
Yes.
All right. So what else do you got? Give us some prices here. We got people on. Let's sell some bikes. This is make a Jerry Lewis telethon. We should start selling bikes online. Let's do it. Let's send it.
We got the $7,900 special on KX450s right now.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Nice. Yeah. So is that
$7,600 special on the YZ250F.
nice. All right. What about the KX250F? What are those going for?
They
Those are gone.
They're gone. You nothing left.
They're gone, but they're $6,085.
That's a good price. Yeah. Okay. All right.
You might have more coming in.
Yeah. Any
I definitely have more coming in.
any CR250Fs? CRF 250s? Any of those?
I have a few. I don't remember. I just gave out a price tonight to one of Jim's friends tonight. I can't remember the price though.
Yeah, if you can't remember the price, it's free, right?
Yeah, try that promo code.
Your sales staff already looks at you weird when somebody comes in and says it's Jim's fault.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, go to the corner. Yeah.
All they do is look at him and be like, not again.
Phil Bonito just said, I'm saving my money by not buying motorcycle parts watching this moto circus tonight.
That's right. If you stay on the line and you watch us, it keeps you away from eBay buying parts.
This is true. But then we get shop owners on the phone like John Levesque to push product.
Support your local shop.
Or the drug dealers.
Or support
local drug dealer.
support your
local CBD
Vermont
dealer.
shop.
That's right.
Speaking of eBay, did you see that remote reservoir shock, the China shock on eBay?
I did not.
Yes, and the reservoir broke off, but it's a fake reservoir because it's. I would say it's solid metal all the way through, but it broke, so it can't be too solid.
No. Hell of a casting there.
But yeah, it's just a shock with a reservoir that snapped right off, and
There's nothing there.
there's nothing there. There's no passages. There's no oil
Nothing.
passages. There's no nothing.
Just wow.
It literally is just metal.
So it's a spring, a rod,
Spring.
and a rubber dampener.
It's like it's an included shock. It looks like like a mountain bike shock or something like that. That somebody put a fake reservoir on.
That's messed up.
Genius.
Yes.
Chinese.
Oh boy. So what else do we got before we hang up on this madman?
I don't think we got much of anything really.
All right, so it was a good show. Good show tonight, John. We appreciate you letting us call and harass you. It's been fun.
Yes, it was. And thank you guys, and have a good night.
We will. All right,
bud,
John.
you too.
We'll talk to you.
Talk to you later.
All right, take care.
Bye.
All right, guys. So John Levesque at Ronnies Cycle. So obviously he's probably the biggest supporter, I think, of our group.
Absolutely.
dealership-wise. So if you're looking for a bike, equipment, gear, once again, support your local dealer. Support John. Get out there. So he's a good dude. We rib each other, but it's all in good fun.
Oh yeah,
So it's 100% in good fun.
And I mean, and they sell everything but Huskies.
Yep.
And
And all kidding aside, actually, all kidding aside, I will be up there in the spring. We're going to road trip it, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
We're gonna go up there
with the big two-stroke, and I plan on going through an entire tire, so there'll be nothing left.
On his lawn.
And I will get a free tire out of it. Guaranteed, I get a free sponsored by Ronnies. Yes. So, and I want old school. I want a Dunlop 752. You better get an order now. I want an old tire.
I don't know if you can get those anymore.
You can. Oh, Casey's got a lead. He knows we can get those.
Nice.
So, him and I used to run those.
John's got a bunch of tires. Danny just picked up a couple of Maxuses this weekend.
Oh yeah,
So
no, we are gonna fill that showroom with rubber.
Yep.
Smoke and mirror. Oh, you wait. Oh, it's gonna be good stuff.
I got a set of V Moto tires on my bike now.
Yep.
And Danny picked up a set of Maxuses. So
Yep.
we get some tires.
Good deal.
Yep.
Good
My
deal.
tires are called the Bulldozer.
Yep. So,
So-
yeah, Gary Frank just put up. John Levesque is the best. Great guy with great family. This is true, Gary. Gary, same goes for you, buddy. Gary Frank, good people. Lee Carrera, Casey Bates. All you guys. Ralph Masiello, pain in our ass, but he's a good dude.
Our normals.
All the normal guys.
The top fans.
That's it. You guys make the show what it is. I mean, here we are. We're almost an hour and a half in, and still going strong with over 30
Yeah.
people on. Who would think?
Yeah, it's great.
Yep. So. But,
And you still got the picture of John.
I do. What do you think?
background.
It looks like. Thank God he's got his pants up.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
it.
You know what I should have photoshopped a man thong on him. What was I thinking? I could have got a banana hammock on that photo. So, Lee, I need
That's
some help
scary.
with Photoshop.
That's scary thinking about it.
Oh, we just jumped up another 10 viewers. We're up to 35 now all of a sudden.
I'm telling you.
All right. Well, before we hang up, does anybody else want to come on? I mean, if so, just put a post up. I mean, it's we could call somebody else. We tried calling Gary, but he won't pick up. He's too
Gary's not
focused on
going
the
to pick
show.
up.
You
Yep.
know?
Gary's not going to pick up.
We gotta get him live in the show. That's what we gotta get.
We're going to have to take the show to him.
Yeah. Art, your hand's still on. I just posted. Said I'm thinking maybe put the Punisher on the back of Jimbo's helmet. Nice.
Ah!
I like the Punisher.
I like the
it.
Punisher.
Punisher, the pusher.
No,
I'm sorry.
no, don't put the pusher on there.
Pusher. I like it. Speaking of which, I gotta get my helmet over to Art. I've got my helmet new in the box. So I still gotta get that over to him. So. Ralph's hanging. He's hanging up. He's saying goodbye. Oh, look at this. We have Albert. I'm going to mangle his name. Cerebo. He's saying hello from Liverpool, over the pond. So what's going on, Albert? Thanks for tuning in tonight. We appreciate it.
We have
We did have some people in
in
Northern Cal this morning, earlier
Yep.
in the show. We had some Northern Cal, and we also, who was Oregon that always tunes in?
Darren Corson.
Darren tunes
Yep.
in a lot. So.
Yep. Every once in a while, I'll see Trevor King from over in Great Britain. He'll come on. Once in a while, we'll see people from Australia. So it's truly a worldwide thing.
Yeah, we are touching all the continents. It's pretty cool.
It's amazing
cool.
to
It
think
is.
of where it's come in just a year.
Yeah, it's incredible. In the last, like I talked about, last 6 to 8 weeks, it's kind of really hit a
It's
stride.
just- yep.
We've taken a break here and there. I know when I had the sick house, it was a couple weeks off.
Yep.
Next week, up in the air, guys. Not sure if we'll make next week or not. So, wait a minute. He says Liverpool, New York. I thought it was Liverpool over the pond. So,
Oh.
he's D34.
Over the state line.
Over the state line. So, all good stuff, though. So, I thought we had hit another continent there. And I got all excited. And we've been Australia before.
We've had yep.
So, we have.
For sure.
But, yeah, we'll see what we can do for next week. No promises. So... John Jacobite. I was gonna buy a case of ice picks for the Vet National Race. John Levesque, stop by my trailer. Oh, bad things are going on. Yep,
I might be the only one that finishes.
it's possible. So, yep. Actually, Casey just said he goes, "I'm actually home this time, but usually he's in Mexico or in Africa more than not." So that's true. He's our world traveler. So.
All right, before we go,
Yep.
Supercross Party.
Supercross.
March
We're up
14th.
to 40 you viewers again.
Supercross Party, March 14th. The Studios by Federal Hill,
Yep.
down in West Warwick, Rhode Island. Old Men That Used to Race is co-hosting along with the Studios in Federal Hill. We're going to have E-Bikes 508 is going to be there with demos.
Demo bikes again. Yeah.
Tom Erdman from Zero Resistance Throttles is going to be there. He's going to have his demo throttle on hand. You can talk to him about how the throttle works and the benefits and
Very
all the
cool.
good stuff. And even though Chris Seabass can't be there from Evans Power Sports, he's going to send somebody by.
Nice.
So we can talk about the Evans Power Sports waterless coolant and
Yep.
its benefits.
And once again, any of you guys with a shop or product, got a shirt you want to send over to us, we'll throw the shirts on. We'll wear them on the show for you guys. We'll put some product
Right.
out here on the table.
Yep.
We'll discuss it. We'll call you. And, as you can see, I mean, we've gone over the numbers. And after the show ends tomorrow, this thing will have, 6,000-7,000 views.
Yeah.
So it's gotten quite large here over the last few months. And all because of you guys. So,
Yep.
my target is Whiskey Throttle Show. We're coming after the big guys. That's it. We're just a couple of rednecks from New England.
Those guys are on for like 4 hours straight, though.
They are. I don't tune in for the whole thing. So.
It's crazy. And Pulp, too. Pulp's on for like
Yeah.
4 hours. It's like, oh, my God. Holy
Yep. Albert just said
We don't
awesome
have
show.
that.
He hopes to catch us again. Yes, definitely. Every Tuesday night, Albert, 8 o'clock, we do this. We try to do it every week. So the last year we've done it, 41 episodes out of 52.
41 out of
So
52.
we're running on 90%.
And we do remote go lives at different points.
We do.
Sometimes from Northeast. Sometimes I'll go on go live from
We do some
from
Friday
Old
nights.
Men.
Yep.
I've been doing a couple Friday nights.
Yep.
Hopefully we can continue that trend. Just bring somebody on and talk for about half an hour and bench
Yep.
race about the upcoming weekend and
Yep.
things in the past.
Gary just said, great show, guys. Great guest. Thanks to Ben and John for coming on and entertaining with Jim and Dave. Gary, we appreciate it, bud. Thank you. So
So it's what we seem to do.
it's what we do. Yeah,
And,
we're
it's
just
like-
trying to connect people and friends and keeping it real.
It's like Ben says, you work your regular job and then you spend more time sometimes after hours.
We do, and this is
stringing
after
stuff together.
hours.
This
We
is
work
after
Monday through
hours.
Friday. The two of us work 50+ hours a week,
Yep.
and as we joked about, by accident
By accident Productions.
Who would have thought that you going live a year ago, it would have turned into this show that's become probably the biggest moto show in New England. So it really has.
It's true. It has. It's
Yep.
crazy.
It is. It has. And
New York too.
and New York, yeah, Northeast for that matter.
Yep.
I think all the way almost from Pennsylvania over and Jersey up. I think that we're it. I mean, Whiskey Throttle's cool and all, but they're a lot more commercialized. I don't.
Yeah,
you can't pick up the phone and call those guys.
No.
Tomorrow, any one of you guys could pick up your phone and call us, and we're going to pick up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every once in a while we'll get lucky and we'll see somebody will respond and or that they've seen the show from the big guy. I mean,
We're grassroots. We're
some
grassroots, though.
of the posts you pointed it out to me that I posted one about Malcolm Stewart and he liked the post.
Hank has a good point. He says Foxborough needs to have you guys on when the SX comes through, Supercross comes through. That's actually kind of cool. You never know.
Supercross Live. Anybody
You
got
never
connections?
know.
Get us on Supercross Live.
I do. I have connections at the stadium to actually. I could get us on the jumbotron and get the ticker going with the last lap and information. Because I used to work with a guy 20 years ago, and he's been there for 20 years. He runs all the jumbotrons.
You'd have Jim Hawley and Daniel Blair running through the stadium looking for us.
Where
are those
That would be hilarious. Yeah, I might be able to have some fun with that. I probably couldn't do it like during a live event, but probably during qualifying LCQ stuff, I can probably have free reign of the big jumbotron. So that could be fun.
I could stand there with a microphone like during the headlights.
I have
What
a
do I
sneaky
say?
suspicion we would be during the headlights.
What do
I
I
think
say?
we would be just fine. I don't think we would hesitate at all. So the funny part is the following show, the last lap, I think will be really big that next Tuesday.
Like, who are these guys?
Yeah, exactly right.
That's the one that you need to get a hold of Travis.
Yeah. Hey, we've talked about all it's going to take is one more big guest, and we've broken the 100. We had tonight was a big show. We had over 70 on. We're getting the numbers. I mean, the first you go back, our first episode's 30 was a big number.
Yeah.
We still got 25 people
We
on
got
now.
25 people on, an hour and a half
Yeah,
in.
You're right, exactly. So, well, I got nothing else. So,
Me neither. I'm gonna
it's
have to
past
go
my
home
bedtime.
and
I know.
go to bed.
Exactly. So, I had to get coffee tonight to keep myself awake.
There you go.
So, but,
There you go.
All right, guys. As usual, we thank you. It's been a hell of a ride here, and we're gonna keep it going.
Yeah, do what we can do.
All right.
2020 is going to be a good season.
It is. So, like I said, keep an eye out for next week. No promises for next Tuesday, but definitely the Tuesday after. I will definitely be back. But
Yep.
I give next week a 50-50 whether we can do it or not. We'll
Yeah,
play it
we'll
by
see how it goes.
So, time difference, and like I said, I got work. So, if I'm
Yep.
not working, we'll try to make something happen
Yep.
if possible. So.
Yeah, you'll still have
It
the
won't be
sunshine.
cool. It won't be green screen. It'll be a goofy
It's just like my
side-by-side,
living room
but,
and whatever your hotel room is.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we work hard at the studio. It looks good in here. So, AKA my computer shop and my sim studio.
And you know what? And I got the sales motorcycle and service sign right over my head. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't have that in my garage.
Your brother says, just do it. You guys would kill it. Fox Motor Supercross. We would. They should let us do like the LCQ. Let's announce that.
Could you imagine if we could have like a dozen people with like sunglasses on and earpieces going, "Shh, yeah, they're coming. You guys gotta move. You gotta move.
Yeah, you know what's funny is we had nothing to lose. Nothing to prove, nothing to lose. That's the line right there. It's true.
Nothing to prove, nothing.
That's right.
It's a shirt.
Nothing to prove, nothing to lose. Just gonna send it. Just send it. It's true. Think about it. Just a couple old guys bench racing.
Yep.
You know. I mean, Ricky's one of the all. I could care less. Beat
you
it.
never know.
We're taking the big seat, Ricky. Sorry.
You never know. You might get Holly and Daniel Blair that be like, where are those guys? We want them on camera. Bring them on with us.
It's you know what? We're the real deal. That's just it. So it's we're gonna go sit in the stands with the fans. Those guys won't do that. We will.
We did that at Straight Rhythm, and
We did. Yeah.
nobody knew us.
That's not true. Actually, walking around the pit, quite a few people did grab us and talk to us.
Yeah,
That's not true.
That's true.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Listen, we'll do this again real soon. We promise. So, all right. Have a good night. See ya.